Right, record on it. Excellent. And I will share the pictures now so that everyone can see them. And this is, yeah, the hammock.
Yes, this one.
Excellent.
Yes, I thought it's a challenge because it's a lot of movement in.
Good. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is challenging describing different nuances of movement, certainly.
Yes, indeed. Well, shall I start
Yes,
or
please. Yes, please.
yes?
Yeah, I wanted to start straight away right from the beginning, so I like
Okay,
you guys to be the ones who are speaking the most.
okay. I can use only very simple words, and perhaps you know more the more proper words or so
We shall
you
see.
help me. Okay, okay. I start. Okay, the man want to try the hammock,
Good.
and he fastened the rope of the hammock to the branches.
Good, good. How do you think he fastened it? Do you think, which technique do you think he used?
I don't know how to.
Give me some examples of what he might have done. Because I agree, it's not clear, but what might he have done? What might he have used to fasten the
he,
hammock? Or,
yeah, I don't know. He
uh-huh.
may use this. I don't know what.
So we call that a knot. Yeah, a knot. So he might
Not.
have,
Yes, not. Yes.
yeah, he might have tied a knot using
Tied,
the, yeah, to tie
tie,
a,
tie, not.
yeah, to tie a
Yes.
knot. He might have tied a knot around the tree. You could even say around the tree or tied the rope around the tree. It's a knot that we call I think you understand, yeah, the part where you tighten it with a knot. And when you do your shoelaces up, you tie a knot, certainly. And we do say,
Tie
yeah,
are not.
tie
Are
a
not.
knot. Yeah, you tie
No.
a knot when you
Not
do your shoelaces up or tie your shoelaces up. Yeah, do your shoes up or tie your shoes up.
up. Mhm.
They're both the same. They are synonyms. Do your shoes up, tie your shoes up. You always tie a knot when you do your shoes up. So maybe he's tying a knot. Maybe he's used a hammer and a nail. But I think, yeah, we usually tie a knot. I have a hammock, in fact, it's behind my camera, and we always tie
Oh,
a knot.
okay. Okay. Good. Okay. And
Okay,
then
excellent.
the next, just a moment.
Uh-huh.
So he tries to sit comfortably, and it was done. But soon after, his hammock hangs down, or
Yeah,
can I say sink? Is that
yes,
okay?
yes, sinks down. I agree. That's the best version to sink down. Soon after, the hammock sinks down. Yeah, I agree. That is excellent. That sounds very natural. The hammock sinks down. We do say sink for get lower. You can say the hammock got lower, but sinks down is much better. I think it's more natural. We often say sink for move lower. And yeah,
Mhm.
especially in a chair or a hammock or something like that. Yeah, he sinks down. Good.
Okay. So he want to try once again. So I can say once again or just
Yeah.
again. He
You
want to
can say
try
both. You
again.
can say both. He wants to try again. He wants to try once again. Both correct.
Okay. So he stretched the rope over the both sides.
He stretches the rope.
He stretched the rope, and he climbs to the net
Good. He
and
climbs on the net. Yeah, he climbs on
on
the
the net.
net. Yeah, he climbs on the net, not two. Yeah, climbs on the net.
On the net. But it turns around,
Good.
and
It turns round.
he is now upside down.
Good.
and
Good. Excellent. Excellent. I agree. That's
and
upside down. Excellent.
and well, he falls over.
Okay, falls over is usually when you're standing up and then you fall over. So here I would actually say fall down. I think this is a really
Down.
good example of when we do say fall down. He falls down or he falls on the floor. I think we often say that as well. He falls on the floor, he falls down, or he falls off the hammock. You can say that as well. He falls off the hammock. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you want to say off what, then we do use off. Yeah, fall off the bike, fall off the fence, fall off the table. Off is always with an object. And so, yeah, he falls off the hammock. But you could just say he falls down here. Fall
down.
over is excellent. Anytime you're standing up, then we do say fall over.
And once I have seen roll over.
He
Roll over.
rolls over. Yeah, I think that's really good for this picture. He rolls
That's
over.
also going down. Roll over is not only
No,
rolling or just going
it is
down.
rolling. It is rolling. And
Mhm.
that's why in this picture, it is best for perhaps this one here, yeah, where he rolls over. There must be an over movement with this roll. He rolls over. And by over, it does mean like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Keep going.
So,
Excellent question.
and he falls from his back.
On his back. He falls on his
And,
back. Yeah, he hurts his
and-
back. He falls on his back.
And he strikes his hip.
Good. Good. Yeah, he hurts his hip.
So but he does not want to give up. So
Good.
now he
Good.
tries to climb up trees.
Good.
And from the branch, he jumped off to the net.
He jumped into the net or onto, in fact, both okay. He jumped onto the net. He jumped into the hammock. You could say on or in with hammock, and that's why onto and into are both working. A little bit like armchair. You can say he's sitting on the armchair, he's sitting in the armchair. And both are possible with armchair because it's because of the shape, really, of an armchair, where you can kind of imagine it as in, but you can also imagine it as on. And so both prepositions seem to work with armchair. You know, on the yeah, with sofa I'd say on, but with armchair I think both are okay. On the armchair, in the armchair. And I'd say the same here with hammock. You could say on the hammock, in the hammock, because it comes up round the sides. It feels like you're in it sometimes. I can understand why somebody might say in a hammock. Yeah,
If
so,
I hear in the hammock, for me it seems bigger hammock.
yeah, it's just
And
because it
it's-
comes up on the
it's-
sides. Yeah, I mean, our hammock, I don't like it very much. I'm like this guy. When I try to sit on our hammock, I feel exactly like him, and so I don't find it comfortable. But it really does close you up in a ball. It comes up the sides of the arms, certainly.
Okay. And so then, but soon after the net get torn.
The net gets torn. The net gets torn. Yeah.
And he falls down again.
Good. He falls down again. He falls through the hole. He falls onto the floor. Excellent. Yeah, he falls on the floor. You can say onto or on.
And in this case, I said the net get torn, but can I say also net is torn?
You can. The net is torn. The net gets torn sounds more like an action, and the net is torn sounds more like a state. But both are correct here. You know, you can even say the net tears. You can even use active rather than passive, and it's because tear is an ergative verb. Yeah, I don't know if you've covered ergative verbs. There are a couple of lessons on the grammar courses about ergative verbs. And they are quite important because a lot of people, for example, say the weather is changed instead of the weather has changed, or yeah, they use passive with change very often when we would use active. And I think with tear here, the net tears, the hammock tears, that's fine as well. You can say the hammock gets torn, is torn. You can, they're correct as well. But active is also correct because tear is an ergative verb. Yeah.
If I hear that's clear, but to see myself is difficult.
I mean, really, with ergative verbs, I would focus on the mistakes which people sometimes make. And so sometimes, for me, it sounds very strange to say the weather has been changed. Nobody ever says it. And I would focus on things like that, like, or the gold price has been increased or something like that, because it sounds like somebody increased the gold price or somebody changed the weather. And of course, nobody actually did. These are events that happened without human agents, you know, without anybody changing anything or increasing anything. And so we'd usually use active with those ergative verbs. Yeah, and so just focus on times where if there's any, well, like here with tear, you can just say the hammock tears. It's up to you. Both sound okay with hammock, passive or active. Yeah, and so yeah. It's not too, if it only occasionally you see these ergative verbs causing problems, but that's excellent, Yoko. Really, really good for these for the hammock. Let's go on to the next story, and I see Hemal and Snehal. Let's have a look. Well, perhaps Hemal, can you hear us, Hemal?
Yes, Dave. Yes.
Excellent. So, how are you doing today? You having a good day?
Yeah, I am having a good day. Thank you.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. It's quite nice weather here. It's started off with a nice blue sky. And yeah, I've got a lot done this morning. I've already done a couple of quizzes. I will have the literature course ready on my website later today. It will be already finished. And so I'm pleased. The day is going in the right direction. Okay,
Yeah,
which
nice to hear that. Yeah. The
um,
last one, I will do the last picture.
the very last picture in the book, yeah? Very last one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Okay, so it is called caricature. Yeah, a caricature of somebody.
Yes. We can see uh, an artist doing a portrait of this. A gentleman is sitting for a portrait, and uh, one a burly guy is looking at the portrait that is being drawn,
Good.
and uh, in the next picture he has done his picture. He shows his work to that gentleman who sat for the uh, portrait, and this burly guy makes fun of him. He comparing the portrait with him, and he finds that is very funny.
Good.
But
Excellent.
the man, yeah, the man is not happy. He looks very, yeah, he looks angry, but that burly guy, he continues to laugh. So he suggests that you should do a portrait of that guy also. Then we will see. So now the artist has started drawing this burly guy's portrait, and now he seems to be anxious about what results might come out. And the first gentleman seems to please what is taking place, and now he has finished the portrait. Now he has started laughing.
Good.
Now when he
How can we
sees
say
the
started
photo,
laughing,
he
but
gets
more, more emphatic? What do we often say with when somebody starts laughing? Yeah, there's an
burst
express
to laugh.
burst. Almost. Go on, burst. You've got the right verb, definitely. Burst
Into a laugh.
into laughter or out laughing. Yeah, there's two options here: burst into laughter or burst out laughing. Yeah, we've got actually two versions. Wait, get rid of that eye. But they're the two which you can say. They're exactly synonyms, really. There's no difference. He bursts into laughter. He bursts out laughing. Good.
Yeah, the burly guy grits his teeth with anger, and the first gentleman, he uh, burst out laughing,
Good.
and the artist is he seems very afraid, and
Good. Yeah.
I think yeah, the artist is not a talented person. Whoever's portrait he would caricature it in a funny way,
Sorry, I
maybe
left the last part. Go on.
yeah, yeah, he is caricaturing the real look.
Okay, yeah, he's caricatured the burly guy, yeah, and he is, you can say for angry, by the way, you can say he is seething with anger. I think we often say something like that. The burly guy is seething with anger afterwards, meaning he's really angry. He's really angry. Seething with sounds like a little bit like teeming with tourists or something like that. When something is in a great supply, you're seething with, but seething with collocates with anger almost always. And so if you're seething with anger, you're getting angrier and angrier, and everybody can see it. It's coming off your face, it's coming out everywhere. Yep. And yeah, the artist is obviously a little bit scared. He's a bit frightened. It's a big guy. He's worried about getting
Yeah.
beaten up. Okay, excellent. Any other words there that you want to include? Do you
Can
think
we
that
say
there's a
he is
message?
burning
No,
with,
yeah.
burning with an indignation?
Yeah, you can say burning with anger, burning with indignation. Definitely. Indignation is good as well. It's more like when you think you've been wronged, when somebody has done something unjust. And yeah, I agree. He's burning with indignation. Indignation is like that when you feel you've been morally wronged in some way, when somebody has done something bad to you. Okay, very good. Any other words there? What do you think the message is? Hey, Mal, what do you think the message is in this?
Yeah, I think yeah. First I thought that this artist doesn't have any talent, that he can't create portraits. And yeah, I think the first one, yeah, another message, that don't make fun of others, that what goes around comes around.
Good, excellent. What goes around comes around. I agree. That's certainly a strong theme in this story and in many of these cartoons as well. But yeah, if you do something bad, there'll be some kind of karma. It will happen back to you. Okay, excellent. Yeah.
We can. I have another good phrase for that, Dave. That chicken coming to the roost.
Oh, chickens come home to roost. Yeah, the chickens come home to roost. Absolutely. Very good. But yeah, there are a few idioms here which we have for what goes around comes around, and that is an excellent one as well. I think that's more common in many ways. What goes around comes around. You often hear people say it, certainly. Okay, excellent. Really good, Haymal. Let's go on to Snehal. Which picture did you choose, Snehal?
It's page number 10 in the book.
Page number 10. Okay. Let me see if I get the right one.
Is it in the book or on the book?
In the book. It is in the book. Yeah, not on the book, in the book. Is it this one, the little boy that's helping his mum, or?
No, the boy, I mean, the parents try to give him medicine. Page
Oh,
number
sorry.
10.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, yes. The fish oil. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah.
Excellent.
So, the mother, the toddler's mother is trying to give him some medicine.
Good.
Maybe castor oil or something, but the toddler is unwilling to take the medicine.
Good.
So she's trying to convince him and give him the medicine.
Good.
But the boy is running away. She tries to get hold of him, but he's not willing to listen to her. And meanwhile, his father comes, and the mother, I mean, the lady tells about the boy's behavior, I mean, the toddler's behavior to his father.
So she tells his father about his behavior. Yeah. It's best to put the person straight after tell. That's where we usually do it, yeah, and not right at the end. She tells his father about the boy's behavior.
Okay, she tells his father. Okay. And then the father tries to, I mean, hold the boy with his shoulders.
Good. He tries to hold him still by the shoulders. Yeah, he tries to hold him still, to hold somebody still.
By the shoulders, so?
I would just say to hold him still, but yeah, he grabs him by the shoulders to hold him still, something like that. He grabs him by the shoulders.
Okay. Then, but the boy still cries. He's not, he's not giving in.
Good. He's not giving in. And how do we call it when you can make it stronger than just cries? What ones we've come across some phrases which are perhaps they make it more emphatic. Yeah, and a bit like you can say he starts laughing or he bursts into laughter, and it makes it more.
Bursts into tears.
You can say burst into tears. Excellent. Burst into tears. You can also say he's bawling his eyes out. Yeah, it makes it a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Crying his eyes out. Absolutely. And you can also say he throws a tantrum. Yeah, he throws a tantrum, you know, which is like go into hysterics, which is also possible. He goes into hysterics. Yeah. And you go into hysterics for some reason. But yeah, he throws a tantrum. He goes into hysterics. Let's try and put that here.
The father is unable to bear the boy's crying. And the boy So he leaves the boy and goes away, runs away,
Good.
closing his ears.
Yeah,
and,
not closing his ears. I prefer. I don't think we usually say closing.
Covering his
Covering
ears.
his ears, covering his ears. Yeah, with his hands over his ears. Good. Wait.
And the boy pummels the ground with his fists.
Good. Yeah, he pummels the ground with his fists. He thumps the ground. Good. Yeah, thump is another good one. It's like pummel. It really is very, very similar. They mean the same thing. He's thumping the ground with his fists. Good.
But and both the parents leave the boy alone and they go away, and the boy cries for some time, and then collects his composure, and then
He collects himself. Yeah, good. He collects himself. He regains his composure. Regain your composure. Good.
and then he goes to the bottle himself and he drinks up. I mean, he lifts the bottle and drinks up completely.
Yeah, he drinks up you can say drink. I don't mind drink up. I think drink up, you could use like eat up. Yeah, he drinks it all up. One thing we often say to down when you mean to drink all of it in one go. Look, there we go. I've got it already here from another lesson. To down the fish oil. And you normally, if somebody downs a whole pint of beer, then they drink it all in one go. And so I would say he downs the fish oil here. He seems to love it. Yeah, he loves the taste of it. So he doesn't just sit at the fish oil. He gulps it down. He downs the fish oil and yet gulps something down, which means quickly and in large quantities. It's for drinking, but it's quickly and in large quantities. Gulp something down.
So now the boy is happy after drinking. He's composed.
So he's composed. He's calm and peaceful now.
Complacent.
And what do you think? Complacent?
Yeah.
Complacent is not, I don't know if I'd use it here personally. I think if you're complacent, it sounds like it's a criticism in some kind of way because you're too relaxed about something, too laid back, when actually you need to be a little bit more worried, a little bit more anxious because something is dangerous. If you're complacent, you might risk something. Maybe you get complacent about driving and you drive for 16 hours because you think, it's okay, I'll be okay, and you're a little bit too complacent and you fall asleep at the wheel. I think it's a negative word. You're normally I mean, I can check it out and see what the dictionary says, but I would say it's normally when you get too relaxed. That there's a let's see what Cambridge says. Yeah, a feeling of calm satisfaction with your own abilities that prevents you from trying harder. So if that prevents you from trying harder is showing you that it has a negative feeling here. Complacent. You normally use it when somebody is too relaxed, too calm, and you say, they're getting a little bit complacent. Maybe if a student stops working so hard, maybe they get really good exam results in year 10, and that makes them complacent. It makes them think, I'll get great exam results in year 11. I don't need to work that hard. And then they don't get so good. They got too complacent. They got too relaxed. That kind of being already thinking that you're good enough, that you don't need to try any harder. That's complacency. Yeah. Okay. So is that one of the messages then in this, you think? Don't be complacent or something like that. What do you think the messages are? Is there any moral to this story?
When there are people who push you, you don't normally go and work, but when they leave you, you will try yourself. I mean, right.
Good. Yeah. So you resist when somebody tries to make you do something. Yeah. When somebody tries to make you do something, you resist it. You say no. But if you just maybe it's a lesson for parents. Yeah. That sometimes if you let them just try the fish oil, for example, they might love it. But if you try to make them and hold them still and grab them and shout at them, it doesn't work.
The boy is stubborn.
He is very stubborn, certainly, and I suppose people are. He's a very stubborn little boy. But yeah,
so can we call the parents are authoritative?
Authoritative, certainly. Yeah, they're authoritative. Perhaps they're too authoritative. Perhaps they're trying to impose too many rules and regulations on their son. Good.
Dave, I posted a question in the grammar shed. I think you don't know
Sure,
it.
yeah. In your home and at home are both correct. You know, never think that there's only one preposition possible, because that's never the case. Normally there's 3 or 4 or maybe even more. And natives will just use one or the other, not really paying much attention to the prepositions. So sometimes they'll use one which I wouldn't use or somebody else wouldn't use. But I would never call either of them, you know, just like you can say at school and you can say in the school. It's exactly the same as that. Yeah, the kids are at school, but in the school means in the building. And that's why at home and in the home are both correct, for exactly the same reason as at school or in the school are both correct, or at university and in the university, or, you know, in prison and in the prison. They're both correct, you know. And I
So
suppose
what should I say if I have to say like I am working at a university or in the university,
well,
university?
if you're working, then yeah, remember that school, university, prison, you don't use an article when you're talking about prisoners or pupils or students. That's when you don't use an article. So if somebody's at university, they're studying. If somebody's at school, they're studying. I would actually say that you work in the university, the local one. I wouldn't say at university. I would say in the university. Yeah, you work in the local university. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
as learners of a second language, we find it difficult to differentiate between in and at. I mean,
yeah, I
in
mean,
this,
there is no difference. You know, that's the good the good news is that the natives don't differentiate between the two either. There is no difference. A little bit like on the armchair, in the armchair, there is no difference. They're both exactly the same. They're both acceptable. The main difference, there is a grammatical difference, which is at home doesn't have an article, doesn't have a determiner, because home has become uncountable. And that's why I would never say at your home, but I would say in your home. Yeah, for me, at home is a phrase. It's an expression where home is uncountable. And that's weird, because usually you buy a home, you know, and you can certainly say 2 homes, 3 homes, 10 homes, but it becomes uncountable in the prepositional phrase at home, just like buy car, car is uncountable. Yeah, and in danger, danger is uncountable. In loads of prepositional phrases, nouns become uncountable. Countable nouns become uncountable. Yeah.
in bed and on the bed, there's some difference. I
So
don't.
in bed and on the bed, yeah, there's massive difference, because in bed means you're under the covers and on the bed means you're not under the covers. And so, yeah, I mean, it's what you would expect really there, because of course in means inside and on means on the surface. And so it is what you'd expect, just like standing or sitting on the table and at the table. There is a big difference certainly there. Yeah, because if you're not
I'm searching for a shop. Maybe it's in the second floor or on the second floor, in or on.
It's on the second floor. Yeah, you wouldn't say
On.
in for a floor, on, because a floor is a surface. And so you'd say it's on the 10th floor, on the 8th floor. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
yeah.
excellent. Let's go on to, I think, Randall, are you Rainbow Stardust?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I was just checking. I thought
Yeah,
so.
no problem. Yeah.
So this is your first time here today, Randall. Where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan.
Okay, excellent. And what do you do? Tell me a little bit about yourself, or how long
Oh,
you've
I'm a
been learning English.
Yeah, I'm a scientist and I'm
Uh-huh.
doing research. Yeah. So my major is in statistics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what kind of statistics do you work with? Is it all sorts, lots of different types, or?
Okay, it's mainly about business statistics, apply statistics to help business improve their forecast, sales forecast, or to know about how many inventory they need to store. Yeah. So
Sorry,
apply statistics for business setting.
Okay, so you're working on business strategies, yeah? We're looking at their sales figures, that kind of thing? And
Yeah,
helping
more like
businesses-
sales figures about the supply chain management,
Oh, okay.
inventory control. Yeah.
I see. So logistics, yeah? Is that logistics, supply chain management, or not really?
Yeah. The logistics is a part of supply chain. Yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So have you, did you get a chance to look at these pictures?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Page 196. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, let's go down to 186. 1 second, it's getting a little bit stuck.
Is this book from Russia or?
It's not. It's actually a Danish cartoonist. I mean, this particular book, yes, it is from Russia. But it's a Danish cartoonist, and I think that his work was very popular in the Soviet Union. You get quite a few political pictures, in fact, in this book. So yeah, it was popular in the Soviet Union, and I think that's why a lot of it is in Russian. You see the titles, yeah, they are in Russian,
Yeah.
certainly. Is it this one that you mean?
No, 196. This is 186.
Oh, sorry, 196. 1 second.
196. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So David, are you living in Russia now?
I'm in the UK at the moment, but I will be going there soon. I miss Moscow, being honest. I spent some time there as a youngster, well, as a 20-year-old, and I really enjoyed it. It was where I first did my TEFL work, where I first taught English as a foreign language, and I still love the place, and so I will head back there certainly. So is it this one?
Yeah,
yeah?
this one.
Okay.
So I just get started there.
Yeah, when you're ready, please start. What can you see in the first picture?
Okay, the first picture more like rich man and then still falling to sleep, and his servant and all the more like nanny and start to serve breakfast for him. Yeah.
Good. Yes, starts to serve breakfast to him. Yes, or starts to serve. You can do it without a preposition. Starts to serve him breakfast.
Starts serving breakfast. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, after breakfast, and then they start to dress him to have more maybe go out or for the other events. Yeah, they start dress him more like wear shoes and take ties.
So
And
instead of wear shoes, they put shoes on him. They put his shoes on. They put his shoes on. Yeah, because remember that wear is a state really, whereas the action of putting on is the start. What you put. So they put his shoes on. What else do they put on?
They put his shoes on, and then put a tie on her neck.
Good. They put a tie on his neck. Good. Excellent.
Okay, and then put the coat. The coat is it?
Yeah, a coat or a jacket. Yes, I think I would
coat.
probably say jacket for a lighter coat like that. But they put his jacket on his shoulders.
You put the jacket on his shoulder. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. So now I think he's ready to go. Yeah.
Good. And what are they doing? Can you remember this word for?
Oh, they polish his shoes. Yeah.
Maybe
No, shoes. They tie. It's not tie.
Good. They tie his shoes. Which preposition?
Yeah.
I mean, you can say just they tie his shoes. I do agree. You can. But very often we put a preposition at the end here. Which preposition do you think we'd use?
They tie his shoes.
Up. You can say up. You don't have to. I just want to warn you that, yeah, they tie his shoes up. They do his shoes up. Do is also possible here. They do his shoes up. Excellent. Keep going.
Okay. So after dressing him up, and now he's ready to work.
After getting him dressed, I wouldn't say dressing him up. Well, I suppose you could actually, because he is quite well dressed. Dressing him up. Okay.
No. Now, after several hours of work, and then he start to enjoy his lunch.
Good. He starts. Make sure there's an S at the end of the start. Yep. He starts to enjoy his lunch.
Yeah. And yeah, this is a proper lunch with three courses we can see, with a main dish and wine. That's great. Yeah. And yeah.
Good.
Okay. So now after the lunch, and then he came back to work again, and now it's almost night time, so he went to the club to enjoy his nightlife. Nightlife. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. What does he do in the club?
In the club is okay, and to have some fun time with young girls, young ladies in the nightclub.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, they seem to be, he's surrounded with young ladies in the nightclub. Excellent. They are sitting on his lap. We often say on your lap, yeah. They're sitting on his
Oh,
lap and they're around his shoulders, they're rubbing up to his cheek. Yeah, they are cheek to cheek. You can also say they are cheek to cheek. Yeah.
Okay, so he feels very high level of satisfaction and
Good.
after the stay in the nightclub.
Good,
So
excellent.
he's very happy. And when he went out the nightclub and he bumped to a beggar.
He bumps into a beggar. Good. He comes across a beggar. Yeah, good.
Cross a beggar, yeah.
Yeah.
He crossed a beggar and then give him, okay, start to don't, can I say donate? No. How say bump into it? Yeah, he gives some money to the beggar.
Yeah,
because
good.
Yeah.
Good. He throws a coin in his hat. Yeah.
Yeah, giving him a coin, yeah.
Good. Yeah. He gives him a coin. He throws a coin in the beggar's hat.
Okay.
Describe the beggar to me. How does he look?
You mean the beggar, is it?
Yeah, how does he look? Tell me about his clothes.
The clothes, okay. He wear the
He's wearing probably.
he is wearing. Okay, sorry.
He's
Yeah,
wearing.
he's wearing very old clothes, and then many holes. Can I say holes?
Good. Yeah. Definitely. Many clothes all. Sorry, many holes all over his clothes. Sorry.
Many holes. on
Ragged,
his
can
clothes.
we say ragged?
Ragged. Yeah, ragged clothes. Good.
Yeah, ragged clothes. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you can say ripped and torn as well. Yeah, they're ripped. They're torn.
Yeah. Okay.
Shabby appearance.
Sorry.
Shabby appearance.
A shabby appearance. Good. Shabby is good for untidy and scruffy. Scruffy is another word for when you're not well dressed. Okay, sorry. Keep going, Randall.
Okay. Yeah, and we also can see. I think he only has one shoe rather than a pair of shoes.
Good.
Yeah. And yep, and he was very happy, and he started to bump into his peer on the street. Yeah.
Okay, he
Right.
bumps into his peer. Okay, yeah, he bumps into another beggar.
Another peer on the street, and then they start to exchange between the coin and the alcohol.
Okay, so one buys alcohol from the other beggar. Yeah, one tramp, one beggar buys alcohol from the other beggar.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now it's already midnight, and he is happy, and he think now today he will have a nice drink after drinking the alcohol. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, what does he do with the alcohol? We've had a couple of words just now for when you drink quickly or something like that.
We drink quickly. I don't know, I forgot the word. Yeah.
Gulp.
Finish. Can I say finish now?
You can, yeah. He finishes the brandy or whiskey or cognac or whatever it is. You can say he
vodka,
finishes.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
he
also
finishes.
say he downs it. Yeah, if you want to
He
say
down.
in
Yeah.
one,
He down. Yeah.
he down.
Remember-
Down is a preposition usually, but you can use it as a verb. He downs his whiskey or his strong drink.
Okay, he downs his strong drink, the whiskey or vodka. Yeah.
Good.
And
We can use
finally,
Oh, sorry. I think Amar was
Keep
going to
going,
say
keep
something there.
going,
Go on. I'll ask him in a second. Go on, keep going.
okay,
Sorry, Randall.
and after get drunk, and he
After getting drunk, yeah, because after
After
preposition we use gerund, yeah. After
after
preposition,
getting drunk,
after getting drunk,
and he feels, no, he fell into a sleep.
he fell asleep. He fell asleep. Yeah, he
fell
fell
asleep.
asleep. And what did he dream about?
He fell asleep, and then he started to have a dream. That dream, in that dream, his lifestyle is the same as the rich man he met in,
Good.
the daytime. Yeah.
Good, excellent. So what do you think is the message? What's the moral in the story? Is there any message here?
The message, okay, the message. The message, no matter what kind of social status
Good.
you are,
Good.
actually, you all can find a way to achieve satisfaction with different ways.
Good, excellent. Yeah, so it doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, you can have just as much fun in life. Yeah, that you can
Yeah.
have just as much satisfaction from your from your activities or interests. Okay, excellent, Randall. Any others? Anything else you think that the pictures are telling us?
That's all. Yeah, I learned a lot of useful words and phrases from your explanation. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, fantastic. Well, what I say to all students, and I'll tell you because I know it's your first time in class today. It's one live class per student per week. Yeah, so wait until next week now. But I will do. I will tell you. I will send you emails. So make sure that my emails get to you. Make sure that my email address is not junked. And yeah, well, I do them Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or sometimes every day. I'll try to do them as often as possible. But next week, please come to any of the classes which you're available for. I always make 10 a.m. one of the times that I do. Yoko suggested it, and it works for me very well, and it works for other students very well. Stefano suggested 4 o'clock as well, and that works for me. I'll probably do tomorrow's class at 4 o'clock. But if you have a time which you prefer, write it down in the grammar shed, and then of course I'll try to do some classes at other times as well. Okay,
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. And let's listen to Heimal now. Sorry, Heimal, I muted you earlier, Heimal, just because I thought it was getting a little bit noisy.
I wanted to say that swill collocate with alcohol.
Swig or swill. You can
Swill
you
S
can,
W I
yeah,
double L.
he swills the whiskey. You do hear to swill a drink as well. To swill and to swig. I think both of those you hear for. I think usually we say to take a swig of. We usually do it like that. Take a swig of something. He takes a swig of the whiskey. And yeah, for a mouthful, a gulp. Yeah, when you can say a mouthful or a gulp, that kind of thing. You do see swill. I would say with swill, it's more literary than to take a swig of something. It feels to me like swig is more often in conversation, but maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my conversation. I'm not sure, but I would certainly more often use that, take a swig, and I'd say swill is more literary. But yes, it's certainly there. It will be in the dictionary for sure. And so excellent, Amal. Very good suggestion. Okay, guys. Well, I will see you all next week. Put your names down. I'll probably do Monday at 10 a.m. again next week. And so if it works for you guys, get your name down, and I'll probably put the class up on Friday or Saturday next week. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, thinking about it, I'm camping next week on Monday. So yeah, there won't be a class on Monday, but there will be others later in the week. And perhaps, yeah, I'm still sure I'll still get a lot in that week anyway. Okay, and so perhaps it'll be Wednesday, maybe not Wednesday at 10 a.m. It'll be later on Wednesday, but perhaps Thursday at 10 a.m. I think it will probably be the case next week. Okay,
Dave, can I ask a question? Yeah.
please. Go on.
Yeah, I consider to buy your pronunciation course.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I want to know which area. I mean, in England. I mean, your English you speak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
very good question. Yeah, I speak British English. It's very similar to RP. I mean, it is RP, in my opinion, received pronunciation. So like BBC English, they'll sometimes call it as well. The kind of English which you hear on the news. But if I'm honest, that's not how most people speak in England. It's just a golden standard, but it's not how most people speak. And so most people in my area have a southeast accent. And sometimes you'll hear me go into a southeast accent as well, because that's what I grew up with. But it's BBC English really, because that's always how I've taught English. It's the way that the words are, if you check Cambridge Dictionary, you'll see the words always pronounced with that RP accent. And so, yeah, it's British English and it's RP. It's BBC kind of accent.
So South England, you mean more Southeast? You mean the Brighton or the Winchester?
My town is Southend, so it's in Essex. It's not
Essex,
Brighton. Yeah, Brighton's in Sussex. It's a little bit further down from us. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't see a big difference, if I'm honest, between Brighton and Southend, between the way people speak. I don't really think there is much of a difference between Sussex and Essex, although I'm sure some people can hear. I think there's a massive difference between Birmingham and London, and they're very, very close. You know, they're not far away, but there is a massive difference between Liverpool and Manchester, and they're very close. Yeah, it's the typical accent that you hear in the south and the southeast, not so much the southwest, where you get a Devon accent, you know, or Cornwall accent. That is different from the southeast, really.
Okay, so the people in Southend, they speak English is different from people in Colchester or Chelmsford?
No, it doesn't. I mean, Colchester and Chelmsford are very close. They're in Essex, and so I wouldn't say that it differs from Colchester or Chelmsford. I can't hear the difference anyway, but I'm sure that some people can hear a slight difference. I'm sure there would be people though who have a very good ear, very musical ear, and they can perhaps tell slight differences. But no, generally speaking, no, Chelmsford and Colchester are exactly the same as Southend.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
But Southend will be different. Well, it is different, very different from southwest England, where I mean down in Cornwall, Devon, yeah, that kind of area. They have a very different accent, and they even had their own language, and you know, Cornish language, and so you do still see it sometimes on the signs in Cornwall and different places, parts of Cornwall. You do still see that old Cornish language, which is connected to the Breton language, you know, and Welsh, that kind of older old languages.
Yeah, in England, yeah, or in the UK, many people from different places they speak differently. So more like if you live in Southern or Colchester, yeah, in Essex. And how can you learn RP? Is from school or you train yourself or?
You just kind of, well, you do learn it a little bit from school, yeah. In my school, the teachers were quite well spoken. That's not always the case in any school, but often it is the case. By well spoken, when we say well spoken, we usually mean speaks in RP. That's exactly what well spoken means, you know. And so kids will pick it up at school maybe, and they'll pick it up as they'll understand that it's perhaps considered to be a better form of English. It's considered to be speaking well, and so they might use it at work when they get older. Yeah, when they have a career, something like that, because they might think, okay, I want to come across as educated or something like that, and then they'll use RP. But they probably won't with their friends when they're down the pub. You know, it's a question of formality.
Oh, great. Yeah, definitely want to have a buy of your pronunciation course. Do you mind ask one more question?
No.
I'm also interested in the conversation course. Do you think which kind of level I should buy? Because
I really recommend the upper intermediate, especially for your level, upper intermediate, and I'm going to do advanced very soon. But the reason why I recommend upper intermediate is that on my website, not on Udemy, but on my website, there are audio and video questions as well. And so it's not all just reading the question and choosing the right answer. You listen to quite a few of the questions in the upper intermediate course. And so it's much more focused on listening skills as well as you know, you watch the lessons still and learn about the different grammar points or vocabulary points, but then I test you by, you have to listen and decide, is it correct third conditional, or is it correct, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be gerunds and participles or prepositions, and you have to listen and see if it's correct. And I think that's harder than just reading every question. And I hope that it's more useful just because you're also getting that audio skill as well.
Okay.
And so I recommend the upper intermediate course for the out of the conversation ones. But yeah, pronunciation is a very different from the upper intermediate course because it is just on pronunciation. And so you do a lot of things like, I really recommend that you do things like singing, poetry. You know, they're actually really good for getting the tempo and the rhythm and the melody of the language. And I think it gives you a lot more enthusiasm for it as well when you enjoy singing along to different songs. But I think that that's the best way to focus on pronunciation or improve pronunciation.
Oh, great. And besides the pronunciation and conversation, what other courses you recommend me to enroll? I mean, from your website, because actually I get one, I bought one of your courses. I really like it. So because you already know my English level today, so do you have any recommendation for me? I mean,
For
to
you
take?
personally, well, I see that you've already bought a lot of my courses, which
So
which I appreciate. I do appreciate. But yeah, of course, the grammar is one thing that a lot of people like. But if you're already really familiar with that grammar, I'd probably recommend vocabulary then rather than the grammar. They both come with ebooks, and so they both have extra exercises for you. So you've got loads and loads of material there to practice. But sometimes people, worry too much about grammar. Grammar is the most popular course, the advanced grammar course that I do. So I know that most people seem to really like that. But sometimes people do worry too much about grammar. A lot of people, they worry, I think they worry about some of the advanced topics like gerunds and 2+ infinitive in different aspects, things like that, where if I'm honest, there are loads of natives that never use any of that complicated grammar in any of their speech. And so bear that in mind always with advanced grammar, that very often then you start using structures which natives don't use. And so, I mean, I still think it's good to speak in a good way, in an interesting way, in a complicated way. And yeah, with things like RP as well, but using lots of different grammatical forms. But be aware that, yeah, most natives, they never use some of that advanced or complicated stuff, inversion, things like this, apart from when they're asking questions.
Okay, so you say maybe I just focus on the vocabulary course or upper intermediary, the conversation.
Yeah, your grammar sounds good. And so I would actually recommend, yeah, perhaps the vocabulary, perhaps upper intermediate conversation, because that's got audio as well, which is nice if you're interested in pronunciation. But yeah, I recommend the upper intermediate one for your level, because the other ones might be a little bit too easy for you, even intermediate, and that's not easy. But it might be a little bit too easy for you just because I can hear that you're speaking, you've got very strong skills with English.
Yeah, because I bought the courses, I bought a lot because for my children, they are preparing IELTS. So that's why I buy a lot.
Okay, you're preparing
the
for
courses.
IELTS, yeah?
I bought the courses for my kids to prepare IELTS.
Oh,
But
okay, for the kids to prepare for IELTS, I see.
yes, so when I start to see they learn, I get interested. So I start to I'm also learning. So that's why I said, okay, maybe I should take opportunity together with them to improve my English.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely, why not? And so will I be doing IELTS soon?
Yeah, they were doing well, maybe half a year later. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, I wish them luck, and I hope that the courses are useful for them. For the kids, you could perhaps try something like the intermediate course, even the pre-intermediate course, depending on how, I don't know what level they are. They might have been learning for a long time. I mean, certainly it will help them prepare for IELTS.
Okay, that's great. So do you think, I mean, with my age, I still can use pronunciation to improve my accent? Is that still possible? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think it's always possible to improve pronunciation. I think it's always possible to improve your pronunciation in your own language, your native language. And so it's always possible to improve pronunciation in another language as well. It's getting your mouth moving and practicing, taking words that you find hard to pronounce. I find squirrel hard to pronounce. I find it very hard to pronounce PR and BR without doing that, basically. And so there are many sounds in English which I find difficult and challenging, and I do get better and better with them over time. It takes a long time, but I think I do get better with my pronunciation of them over time. Another good thing that very few people bother with recording themselves speaking in a foreign language, and that's the best way to improve your pronunciation. But very few people do it. Actually recording yourself, listening to yourself, it's then that you actually hear a different voice to what you usually hear, and you actually hear all of your mistakes really, really clearly. And so that's the best way to improve, actually recording yourself, listening to yourself, and then being harsh with yourself and being, being quite critical and thinking, that's not quite right. That's not quite right. And yeah, I recommend doing that, but very few people do that. I think people don't like listening to their own voice sometimes.
Yeah, people do not like listen to their own voices.
Yeah,
feel embarrassing.
Exactly. You feel embarrassed, but and of course, yeah, I do it just because I watch old YouTube videos that I made, and I can hear how much worse my pronunciation was 15 years ago than say recently. And it's just because I've been watching those videos quite a lot, and I can hear, that's not good. I should work on that sound. Okay, we better stop right here. I'm sorry, I've got to stop. I've got to stop.
No problem.
But I will see you all next week, guys. Come next week, and It won't be on Monday or Tuesday, but I think the first one will be on Wednesday. But I will let you all know, as always, through the Grammar Shed. Yeah, and get your names down, and I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye, David. Have a
Bye.
nice
Bye-bye.
day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
You too. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Nice.